So we start with it. As I said, in ninth, you had already learnt about real numbers, and you have always already encountered what are irrational numbers, what are rational numbers. You proved them also. Proved that root 2 is irrational, proved that root 3 is irrational. All of those you have done. Some of those are again here with us. Basically, in this chapter, we are going to deal with two important concepts. One is Euclid's division algorithm, and the other one is fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Now, Euclid's division algorithm is actually, children, nothing other than the division that you do. This division algorithm, you have done it last year also. Now, can somebody tell me actually what is a division algorithm? What is an algorithm, children? Tell me what is an algorithm first. You have done in computers what is algorithm. You know what is algorithm. Can somebody tell me?
Ma'am, a set of rules.
It's a set of rules. No. Anybody? Try what is an algorithm. Don't look into your textbooks.
How something works.
How something works. Okay. Can you tell something else about that?
A process.
A process or operations. They're like operations.
Some process which is step by step.
Yes, yes. It is actually, it tells you how it works. It tells you how the process works in certain number of steps. So that is what is important. Step one by one. So that is what is algorithm. So when we are talking about, so this is what it is. An algorithm is a series of well-defined steps which give a procedure for solving a type of a problem. Okay with that? Fine. And we will continuously be hearing about something called lemma here. Lemma is nothing but it is a proven statement which we will not prove anymore, which will be used for proving another statement. Like in geometry and all, suppose as soon as isosceles triangle is given to you. So what do we assume? Not assume, it's a lemma that the opposite sides and the opposite angles will be equal. With that, we move ahead with the proving of the other thing that is given to us. So such things are lemma, like cos square theta plus sine square theta is 1. Fine. So that also we can call it as a lemma. We need not prove it in every sum that we are utilizing it for. So this is algorithm and this is lemma. Now moving back to the first slide again, can somebody tell me what is actual division algorithm? What is it? Simple, basic. Knock your brains, please. Tell me what you understand by division algorithm. Division algorithm, as the word algorithm says, that it shows you the steps, right? Now, for in each step of division, actually, what is done? Can somebody sum it up?
Continuous subtraction.
Continuous subtraction is there, but there's something very major there that you are continuously applying at every stage. Division is a process of continuous subtraction. Nobody? Is Amoga there with us today?
Ma'am?
Is Amoga there with us today?
Yes, ma'am.
Amoga, can you answer this question? What is division algorithm? No?
Ma'am, it is like it's like a algorithm which computes the quotient and the remainder using any two integers.
Perfectly said. Can you state that properly? There's a certain statement, there's a certain formula for that. Can you state it?
Division algorithm is given when any two integers, x and y, are compute a quotient and a remainder by using the Euclidean division.
I got it.
As the result of the Euclidean division.
Yes, perfectly said. You've given me the book language. Other than that, anybody else?
Quotient is equal to divisor into dividend plus remainder.
No, you went wrong there. Actually, what you're saying is what I want, but you're saying wrong. Somebody else can.
Ma'am, dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder.
Perfect. That's it. That's it. Dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus the remainder. So how do we write 5? 2.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Nah.
Ma'am, Akash told he can't join because he has some internet connectivity.
I got to know from Garima ma'am. I got to know.
Yeah, so
That's okay. That's okay. Okay. So if we take 5 as and divide it by 2. So how do we do it? 2 2s are 4 and 1. So can we write 5 as 2 multiplied by 2 plus 1? That's how we do. So basically that is a division algorithm. And now let us see how, and that is actually what is Euclid's division algorithm, which we have been using. We have been using since class 4 or 5, I think, while checking division. When we were checking long divisions, have you people been asked to check the division and you have used this method, right?
Yes, ma'am.
If I'm not wrong, you were using it for checking. So that's nothing but Euclid had actually come up with this algorithm. Okay, so now let us see how, where all we utilize this division algorithm given to us. So here is our Euclid, father of geometry we call him. So moving ahead, a small set of clips for you. Just look into it. Just look into it and read it on your own. Can everybody see the screen, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. So this is what I was talking about, lemma. It's just a result. When one wants to find HCF, the most common method is factorization. But with big numbers, it's obviously tough to go ahead with factorization. So what do we do? So we will use Euclid's division and the divisibility rules that you have done to find the HCF of a certain set of numbers. So this is what we were talking. This is what Amoka was also talking. This is the statement of EDL, means Euclid division algorithm. So if A and B are two positive numbers, then there will be a quotient Q and a remainder R such that your dividend is divisor into quotient plus the remainder. Write it on the top of the notebook, very bold and clear, all of you. Please write this down. Dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus the remainder, because we'll be continuously utilizing this. Okay with that? Shall I proceed? Moving on. Sorry, yeah, it's here in this slide. Check. This is nothing but the divisibility theorem that you have learned. Okay with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Shall I proceed to the next slide?
Yes, ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
Yes. Please mute yourself. After you have spoken to me, mute yourself. This is where it originated from, and observe the statement clearly. All the whole numbers existing in the world can be written in this form. Next question is, how do we calculate the HCF?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Tell.
Ma'am, it's Akash.
Yes, Akash.
Ma'am, I joined just now. My internet.
I got to know. That's okay. Continue from there. It's not a problem.
Okay.
Okay. Normally, when we were doing HCF by long division method, if you remember, till we get the remainder as 0, we continue. You remember, children? So here also,
Yes, ma'am.
Here also we'll take an example to see how we use Euclid's division algorithm, not the long division method, but how we use Euclid's division algorithm to find the HCF of numbers. So we will see two very simple numbers, 42 and 4. Are we ready? Can you start writing fast in your notebooks as we speak? So finding the HCF of 42 and 4. So how do we write? We break it down. 42 can be written as the given number another 4 multiplied by 10. That's 40. And left is 2. Fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Then this 4 and 2, you take it together. We'll try using how we will use 2 to get you 4. So as we move ahead, we can multiply 2 and 2 to give you 4, and the remainder was 0. So the HCF in this case is 2. I'll show you more examples. Just write this in 2 steps. Need not write all these things. Need not write any statements. Just write the steps. That's it. So in just 2 steps, the first one was 42 is 4 into 10 plus 2, the remainder. Next time we are taking hold of the 4 and the remainder 2, trying to get 4 from the remainder. So what we do is 4 is equal to 2 multiplied by 2. As I said, should go till 0. So your HCF is 2. Worry not, we are moving on to the next example. Now check it out. Now we have taken a bigger number, 4032 and 262. Always have the bigger number right in front of you. Please keep on writing as we are doing. So we have 4032. Do the division in your rough column, divide it by 262. So you can see 4032 can be written as 262 into 15, and you will get a remainder as 102 there. In the next step, we are going to take hold of this 262, that was one of our numbers, and the remainder, and try to get 262 from 102. So 262 is nothing but divide 262 by 102, the remainder that you're getting. So 102 into 2 plus 58 is going to give you 262. In the next step, third step, again what we do is we take hold of this 102 and the 58 remainder. So 102 equal to, now divide 102 with 58. So you get it as 58 multiplied by 1 plus 44. Again in the next step, get hold of 58 and 44. So 58 is nothing but 44 into 1 plus 14. Still there is a remainder 14. We are not stopping it here. So surely in the next step we will write 44 is equal to 14 multiplied by how much?
2.
3. 14 multiplied by 3 plus 2. 14 3s are 42 plus 2. Again in the step 6, we are taking care of getting hold of 14 and 2. So 14, how do we get? With that 2 dividing by 7, multiplying by 7, we get 2 into 7 plus 0. Now here goes the remainder as 0. So we have to stop it here. So what is our HCF for us? HCF for us is the remainder which we used as a quotient here. So here this 2 is our HCF. If you use your long division method also, you'll get the same thing. But a very big word of caution, when they ask you find HCF using Euclidean division, then remember they're expecting you to write all these steps and not do long division. Otherwise you'll get a 0. Even if you get the answer right, you'll get a 0 there. So again, I'll show you all the steps. See that you have written all the steps properly. Done with the first one? Check second, third, fourth. Try to make these arrows. Try to make these arrows so that you know which two are you pairing up. Go through the steps slowly. And finally, your step 5 and 6 here. Okay. Shall I proceed to the next slide?
Ma'am,
Yes, tell me.
can I see step 4 again?
Sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Surely, sure. Okay, please see that you mark arrows so that you know which two numbers you're dealing with. Okay with that? Shall I proceed?
Yeah.
Who was that?
Yes.
Who was that speaking?
Manasvi.
Honestly. Okay, step 5, step 6, HCF is 2. Fine. Now, how do we use HCF in word problems? Just look into the word problems. I own a plot of 190 meters by 60 meters. When we write it like this is nothing but the length and the breadth of the field given to you. I own a plot of so much dimensions and my sister loves fruits. So I decided to plant fruits in it, but I want to plant all varieties. That's why I want to divide it into square blocks. But at the same time, my land shouldn't be wasted. What does this tell you? Land shouldn't be wasted means what?
There should be no
There
remainder.
should be
Wonderful, wonderful. There should be no remainder. So how should I do that? So as you can see, maximum utilization of the land. So HCF. Chalo, start do it. 190 and 60. Start with it, children. With the Euclidean method. I'm giving you 2 minutes of time. Use only Euclidean method. Don't use your log division.
Ma'am, is it 10?
Yes, I think it is 10. But please show the stepwise Euclidean steps.
Ma'am, yeah, it is 10.
It's 10.
Children, have you done Euclidean method or you have done long division?
Ma'am,
Euclidean. That's why it was so fast.
Okay. So we started 60 multiplied by 3 and a 10 there. Next time we get hold of 60 and a 10. So that is 10 into 6 plus 0. So here my 10 comes as the HCF. So each blocks, what would be how many blocks can be placed along the length? 190 by 10, that is 19. How many blocks to be placed along the breadth? 6. So totally how many blocks of field can be maintained? 144 blocks. So actually if in each block, if you want to place one variety of fruit, then 144 varieties of fruit can be planted. Very simple question. But see how we have used Euclidean method and we
Ma'am,
have,
it should be 114,
which one, dear?
shouldn't it? 19 into 6, if I'm not wrong.
No, I think 144 only.
No, ma'am, it's 114.
It's 114.
It's 114.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. Sorry. 114. Okay. Shall I proceed now? Finished, all of you?
Just a minute, ma'am. Just 1 minute.
Okay. This is 114. Okay. 104.
Yes, ma'am. Done.
Done?
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So now we understood how we can use Euclidean division lemma in finding out HCF. So proceeding on to your textbook. So this is what it says. Given positive integers a and b, there exists unique integers q the quotient and r the remainder satisfying a is equal to bq plus r, where the remainder has to be greater than equal to 0 or less than the b. What is b here? B is the what is
Divisor.
divisor. B is the divisor here. So R can never be more than the divisor. If R is more than the divisor, that means your division is not completed yet. Right? That means,
we can still divide.
Yes, you can still work ahead. Can you please write it down? Write this down. Given positive, or if you have the textbook, please mark it. I think that's better. You can underline it bold in your textbooks. It's given on page number 3, theorem 1.1, at the bottom part of the page. Did you get it? Last paragraph. All of you have the textbook with you when you were sitting for the classes? Fine. So this thing we will not wave off from your mind. So proceeding ahead, see the same thing. Now what I will do is, hold a minute. Hold a minute. Now what I'll do is, I will cover this, okay? And I want you to do this. Give me the HCF of 455 and 42 using your division algorithm. Please don't look into your textbooks. Do it on your own because we are learning something. And any problems, doubts, speak now itself. Do it. 455 is equal to 42 multiplied by something plus something, surely. See that you show different steps. Don't put equal to everywhere and move ahead.
The answer is 7.
Answer is 7.
7.
Perfect. Chalo, let's see step by step. This was your step 1?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Siddharth, was this your step 1?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Yes? Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Now going ahead, was this your step 2?
Yes, ma'am.
You need not write all these word things. Nothing to write. Simply keep on working. So here goes your step 3. As soon as we get 0, this remainder, which was used as the divisor in the next part, becomes your, see, divisor at the second part becomes your HCF. Okay. Shall I move to the next slide, please?
Yes, ma'am.
All of you. All the children out there. Everybody.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. That was, oh, perfect. So this is it. Basically, this is what we have to do. So step 1, continue with this. Step 2, if R is 0, then stop. If not, then continue. Step 3, continue till the process till the limit. This is all from your textbook. Moving ahead to certain examples. So write it down, examples. You'll be working it along with me, please. Chalo, again, hiding my work. Chalo, give me the answer. Now these are 2 big numbers. 4052, 12576. Do not use long division. Go ahead with the Euclidean division method only. Children, are you able to understand, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Sure, that's good.
Ma'am, if we want, can we do the long division method like in the working set? We know that we have not done any mistake in the Euclid.
Rough is perfectly fine, but see that you don't waste more of time.
Yes, ma'am.
But see, as it is, 12576 has to be divided first by 405. So there
Yes,
the long division is coming.
Yes, ma'am.
Understood? So you can do it. Always, always.
HCF is 4.
HCF is 4.
Yes, ma'am.
HCF is, I think it will proceed to the next slide. Fine. All those who are still working on it? Please check it out.
Ma'am, HCF is 4.
It is 4. Perfectly 4. All those who are still working on it can check on the steps and make it faster. Done?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Shall I proceed now?
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
so as you can see, we are done with it. Chalo. Now, these things you need to look and understand. Show that every positive even integer is of the form 2q. Now we know that whenever 2 is multiplied, let us see, depends on q also, and that every positive odd integer is of the form 2q plus 1. Fine. So whenever it's a multiple of 2, we know it is going to be a even number. And whenever you add 1 to it, it's a general logic. It's simple general logic. And when we are adding 1 to it, it becomes an odd integer. So they are asking us to show it. So this is how, these are the set of steps that we can look into. Now I've done this right in front of you so that it's always there. Let A be any positive integer. So A is basically a dividend. And let B be 2. Why 2? Because they have taken it in the form of 2q. Then by Euclid's algorithm, we can say that dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus the remainder. So BQ plus R, where we have taken B as 2, right? Okay with that? So BQ plus R for some integer Q always greater than equal to 0. And R is equal to 0 or R is equal to 1, because R will be greater than equal to 0 and less than 2, because B is 2 for you. So R can never be more than 2. So either R can be 0 or R can be 1 or R can be 2. Not 2. R can be 0 or R can be 1, not 2, because it's less than 2. So here A is equal to 2q plus R. First time, if R is 0, then what do we get? A is equal to 2q. Next time, if R is equal to 1, then what do we get? A is equal to 2q plus 1. That's it. Now, these are very different type of theoretical questions. This is the way to do it, children. There is no other, you can't show it by any mathematical way, but statements have to come up. So it's already there in your example, but just try to understand it. That's why I've written this completely in front, so that we can understand this. That is, Q is always greater than equal to 0, A is greater than B, and R lies between this. Okay with that? Shall I proceed to the next one?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Again, this type of sum is also typical sums. No mathematics to be done here, but you have to all make them understand with statements. The same thing. Show that any positive odd integer is of the form this or this. Now, why odd? Because 4q, because it's a multiple of 4, will be even. So if with those even numbers, if you add 1 or 3 or 5 or 7, they are going to be odd integers. Understood? So now, but they are asking us to show it. So let us start by taking A, where A is a positive odd integer. We apply division algorithm with A and B. Now here B is equal to 4 we are considering, because 4q is there. So if it would have been 5q or 6q, you should have taken B as 5 or 6. Okay, so So here only seeing this, you have to do this. Again, R will be lying between 0 and 4 because R cannot be more than B. So all the possible remainders of R, all the possible values of R will be 0 or 1 or 2 or 3. Now, A can be written as what? A is BQ plus R. Fine with it? Here, every time B is taking the value of 4, here it's already we have assumed. So every time when B is taking the value of 4, once when R is 0, so what do you get? A is equal to 4Q. Next time, you get A is equal to 4Q plus 1, or A is equal to 4Q plus 2, or A is equal to 4Q plus 3. Fine, this is what it is. 4Q, 4Q plus 1, 4Q plus 2, plus 4Q plus 3. But since A is odd, they have told you, for any positive odd num integer, A cannot be 4Q or 4Q plus 2 because they're divisible by 2, and that means they become even numbers. So what is left out is the odd integers, which is 4Q plus 1 or 4Q plus 3 in this type of a sum. This just simply digest this pattern. There's no other way of solving it mathematically. This is it. With statements only, you have to make them understand. Done? Shall I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Chalo, do this. Chalo, this is, how do we do this? A sweet seller has 420 Kaju Barfis and 130 Badam Barfis. She wants to stack them in such a way that each stack has the same number and they take up the least area of the tray. What is the maximum number of Barfis that can be placed in each stack for this purpose? Do it.
Mom, answer is 10.
the answer 10.
Yes, ma'am. The answer is 10.
And perfect. So these all type of sums are interesting also, and we love doing also. But then those sums are there. It's a part of the chapter. All mathematical inductions. Okay, shall I proceed? All of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Everybody has got 10.
Yes,
Can
ma'am.
make a stack of
Yes,
10.
ma'am.
Now we'll be starting with our exercise 1.1, which will have mixed variety of sums, actually some XCF, some there and here and there. Chalo, do it. 196 and 38220. Need not write any statements there. Simply keep on doing. I'm doing the first, the second part. See that you do the other parts on your own.
Number is 196.
Yes, it is 196. Need not write any statements again and again. I'm telling you. Just keep on working. Okay, shall I go to the next slide? Has everybody finished?
Yes, ma'am.
HCF is 196. Shall I move others?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
An army contingent of 616 members is to march behind an army band of 32 members. The two groups are to march in the same number of columns. What is the maximum? This word maximum shows that you have to do HCF. So give me the HCF of 616 and 32 actually. 616 and 32.
Ma'am, it's 8.
Yes, it is 8. So they can march in 8 columns each.
Yes, ma'am, it's 8.
Done?
Yes, ma'am.
Others, wind it up. It's already 10:31, so I need to wind up
Done,
faster.
ma'am.
Done, ma'am.
Now see this step of a sum. Please start with it. This is the last sum actually in the slide. The sums in between. Use Euclid's division lemma to show that the cube of any positive integer is always of the form of this. So again, a very typical of its own. They can give you a square number. They can give you a cube number. They can. So these are all things. This is the way you have to do. Please start working out along with me. Everybody start jotting it down, please. Let A be any positive integer and B is 3. A is, as it is, 3q plus r. We have seen in the example, where q is greater than equal to 0 and r will be greater than equal to 0 but less than 3. So if r is, so r takes the value of 0, 1, 2. So if r is 0, we have A is 3q, or r is 1, we get 3q plus 1, or 3q plus 2. So we can write A in the 3 forms. Now taking cases one by one. When A is 3q, now cubing both the sides. So you get it as A cube as 27 cube, which can be written as 9 into 3 cube. So if we assume 3q cube as m, we get it A cube as 9m. Can you see that? 9m. What is m actually? It's a cube of any positive integer. Fine. So the first part we are done. Next case would be when A is 3q plus 1 now. Again, cubing both the sides. A cube is equal to 3q plus 1 whole cube. So A plus B whole cube, A cube plus B cube plus 3AB into A plus B. So here is what we get. Now if you take 9 common from there, this full thing, 3q cube plus 3q square plus 9. We are assuming that as m now. So A cube is nothing but 9m plus 1. Where m is this. Same way in case 2, when A was equal to 3q plus 2, cubing both the sides. We get it in the form of A cube is equal to 9m plus 8. Where m is this. Therefore, the cube of any positive integer is always of the form this. These type of sums, see that you follow the exact steps to work out. Exact steps. There's no other way out.